You can instantly level up your use of Asana by taking advantage of custom fields. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with custom fields using real-world examples from the Asana experts. Hello, my name is Paul Miners and welcome back to another one of our Asana training videos. Now, when you first upgrade from the free to a paid Asana subscription, custom fields is one of the first features to get familiar with because they allow you to customize how you set up each of your projects for your work and each of your workflows. And when you start using custom fields, they really help you to take Asana to that next level when you start triggering automated workflows from the fields that you've created. In this video, I'm first going to explain what custom fields are and show you some examples from our actual projects here at MinorCo. But if you want to skip ahead to how to actually create a custom field, you can use the chapters down below. And if you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment. So what is a custom field? Now, when you create a task in Asana, the three most important pieces of information about that task are what is the task, who's doing it, and when is it due. Now, with custom fields, you can add extra attributes or custom fields on top of this task. For example, maybe you want to track the estimated time required to do the task or track the actual time that you've spent doing the task. A lot of our clients use a status field for tracking the state of the task. Maybe you want to add a field for tracking the cost related to that task. Now, you can create different custom fields for each of the projects that you build out in Asana. So let me show you some examples of what we've done here at MinorCo. Firstly, here is our clients project. This is where we track all the clients we're working with and projects where we're helping companies with Asana, Pipedrive, and Zapier. Each of our clients or projects is represented as a task, and we normally have subtasks down here to represent the work that we're doing for that project. Now, we use a number of custom fields to track all the important information about this project. Firstly, we have the estimated time here. We can estimate time required to complete certain tasks, or if we're getting on a call with the client, we can see how much work we have scheduled. Now, this is really useful for me as the business owner because I can actually look at a workload view like this, and this screen is showing me how much estimated time we have scheduled for each of the members on our team. And if you want to learn how to build a workload view like this, then check out our related video up here. We then have this actual time field where you can either start a timer or retroactively come in and add the time that you've spent working on this task, and that's really useful to report on later our estimate versus our actual time. We also have an anniversary field. So this is a date field which we use to represent a client's annual anniversary for renewing accounts and providing support. Budgeted time, if clients buy a block of hours from us, we can say, right, this client has 5 hours that they can use. We can put that in there. That's just a simple text field. We have drop-down fields like this, so we can show what is the status of the client. Are they in the queue, scheduled, in progress, in a support period? We've got that. We can track costs and values. So what's the value of this project? How much have we spent on this project so far? What's the type of engagement? Now, all of the fields you see here, these are specific to this particular client's project. If I go to our content project, this is where we plan videos like this one that we're working on right now. So here's the video that I'm recording right now. You can see I've got different fields. I still have the estimated time, but our status field here is slightly different. We have different status options for our content. We also have this category field for what topic are we talking about, and we've got a sponsor field. If we're managing sponsored content, we can add sponsor details in here. Last week, I published a video showing how you can use Asana to track applicants when you are hiring for a new position. And here's some example fields where we're tracking applicant names, email addresses, phone numbers, the tool they're proficient in, the interview date when we're booking an interview, and really cool is you can even use emojis within your custom fields. I actually use the thumbs up emoji a lot when I'm commenting in Asana, but John, my editor, was just telling me that apparently the thumbs up emoji isn't cool anymore. If you could leave me a comment down below, let me know if I need to retire the thumbs up emoji, that would really help. And in last week's video, I actually showed how custom fields can trigger rules. So here is one where when we change that custom field, so if I rate an applicant as a 4 or a 5 star, we move that applicant to our shortlist section. But if they're only a 1, 2, or 3, they're not good enough, they're going to move to our rejected applicants section. So this is how you can really start to take custom fields to that next level when you use them in rules like this. And I have a separate video where I talk more about using rules in Asana, so check that out up here. With custom fields, you can almost make Asana be whatever you want it to be. We've had clients build out Asana to be a sales CRM and have custom fields for tracking the prospect's information, the value of the opportunity, and the services they're interested in. We've had other people use custom fields to set up Asana as a contact database with names, email addresses, and birthdays. So use your imagination and you'll find more and more ways to start taking advantage of Asana rather than having to use lots of different spreadsheets and other tools and applications. So that's what custom fields are. Now let me show you how to actually set up a new custom field and the different options available. Now, quick reminder, if you are on the free or personal Asana subscription, you will need to upgrade to at least the starter plan in order to unlock custom fields. There we go. So this is a paid feature. As an Asana reseller, contact us using the link up here if you'd like a quote on your Asana subscription, and we'll give you a discount off the retail price. And please don't be confused here by the Australian dollar pricing. Now, to create a new custom field, first keep in mind that custom fields are created on a per project basis. So here I am again in my client's project, and if I go on to the customize menu here, this is where I can create rules, fields, forms, and task templates for this particular project. Now under the fields sub item here are all the custom fields that I've already created, which I can go ahead and edit. Or if I want to, I can add a new field from scratch. There is a library if you want to get some ideas for different types of fields, have a look, but I'm just going to create a brand new one from scratch. Now, first thing we're going to do is create a name for our field. So let's just say we want to store the reviews that our client is giving us after we complete the project. I could call this review. So that's just the name of the field, and then I can choose what type of field is this. You can have single or multi-select options if you want to create a drop-down menu. You could have a date field for storing in important dates, separate from the due date of the task. Maybe you want to track other important dates. People, if you want to link other people to the task. So maybe you want to show, obviously, the assignee, but maybe who is the person approving the task. Dates can store text, numbers, or even formulas, actually. And this is really cool if you want to multiply different values or do addition and subtraction. You'll also find options for storing IDs and even creating timers. But for this simple example, we're just going to do a single select drop down. So we'll call that review. And here I can create my drop-down options. And like I showed you before, we can even put emojis in here. So let's do 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2, and 1. And because this is a single select drop-down, I can even assign colors to these if I want, which is quite nice. You can rearrange and put them in any order you like. And down the bottom here, you're going to see a couple of options. The first is, do you want to add this to your organization's field library? What that means is if I add this to the library, I can reuse this same field in other projects. So if I don't want to create this from scratch every single time, I can add it to the library. And that way, you can actually choose from your field library up here. Any of the fields that you've created in other projects, you can quickly add to this new project that you've just created. So a very easy way to reuse the same field. You can also turn on the ability to notify collaborators when the field has changed. So we have this turned on for things like the client status. If we change the status, we want the collaborators on that task to be notified. Now, the final extremely useful feature up here, and I know I'm going to get this in the comments, is you can manage access to this field. Now, this is a feature for Enterprise and Enterprise Plus subscribers. And what this lets you do is hide the field if you don't want people in the project to see it. So I can say, I want everyone in my organization to see this field, but I could choose to make it private if I only want project admins or specific people to see this. So that's a really useful way of just keeping sensitive information like maybe costings private if I need to. So once I'm happy with my field, I can simply create it there. And now we've set up the new field. And you will notice the field is now attached and I can fill it in on any of my tasks. I can also toggle the field on and off in the list view here. So you'll see my custom field is showing as a column now, and I can even edit it there. That's really nice because it kind of means you can use Asana as a spreadsheet. But if I don't want that there, I can simply go to my options, show hide columns, and I could disable that field. Now, it means the field is still in the task, but I have to click into the task to see it, and it doesn't appear as a column, and I can kind of keep the list or column view simplified if I want to. With that custom field now set up, I can even filter my project using that field. So I could come down here into the filter options, add the review, and look at just my 5-star tasks or clients. If I want to, I can use the field to group my tasks. So instead of grouping by sections like you see here, I could group by review. So now I can see my tasks grouped by that particular field, and I can now use this custom field in my rules. So if I go back to my customize menu, click on rules, let's just create a new rule from scratch, and I could use, here's my review field has changed trigger down here. So if I say my review has changed and check if the review is 1 star, then I could create a subtask. Where are you? What happened? We need to investigate. Why do we only get 1 star? This is why when we build out a project for our clients, we often start by creating custom fields because it gives us more options when it comes to sorting or grouping tasks and triggering rules using automation. And if you'd like one-on-one help with setting up or optimizing Asana for your business, then click the link in the description below to book an introductory call with our team. So that was a look at custom fields. I hope this has given you some ideas of how you can further take advantage of Asana in your business. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.